Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got quite a few things to go over. Some new Pokemon Legends EA pre-order bonuses have been revealed. We have some multiplayer updates for Pokemon Legends EA. Some Nintendo Switch 2 updates have dropped. We also have a new Generation 10 rumor to cover. There's a lot of things to break down today. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, we have a new Pokemon Legends ZA pre-order to take a look at. So this was posted by Kalos, saying Pokemon Legends ZA pre-order update with a free pin of your choice featuring one of the Pokemon starters at Fnac plus €10 offered to members pre-order the game. So I don't know where Fnac is. I think it might be a French retailer or something like that. But yeah, if you are in that region, then you can get a pre-order of a pin of one of the starters of your choice. So this is the Chikorita pin, this is the Totodile pin, and then this is also the Tepig pin as well. Like I say, it might not affect a lot of you, but I'm trying to go over every single possible Legends ZA pre-order just because people from all over the world watch these videos, and so I kind of want to give them the best possible, I guess, pre-order that they can get for Pokemon Legends ZA. So yeah, if you are usually able to order from this place and you want one of the starter pins, then you know you also get the €10 offered to members as well. I don't know if that's some sort of like thing that Kalos have got. I don't really know. I'm not trying to kind of promote anything here. I'm just giving you the latest Pokemon Legends ZA pre-orders. So that's obviously that. And then of course it's also been, I guess, pushed more now that the Pokemon Center ones are now live. If you were not aware, we've gone over it a couple of times, but I just thought I'd throw that in just in case you didn't know. This was posted by PokeExperto saying that the Pokemon Legends ZA pre-orders are now available at the US online Pokemon Center. They include a free Chikorita, Tepig, or Totodile plush. So obviously you have the Nintendo Switch 2 version here, and it says pre-order bonus, get one of 3 Pokemon Legends ZA first partner Pokemon Sitting Cuties plush. Remember, this is random. You can't choose which starter you get. You're just gonna get it with the game. But yeah, this is the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, and it's the exact same for the Nintendo Switch edition as well. You'll get one of the Sitting Cuties, and it's until stocks last as well, so it's not like you can order from this in like 3 months and still expect to get one of these Sitting Cuties, because they're probably all going to be gone by then, because this is arguably the best pre-order out there at the moment, and you know, it's going to get snatched up quick because you get a free Sitting Cutie and all the starters are cool as well. So yeah, if you are thinking of pre-ordering and you know you're probably going to go with the Pokemon Center, you may as well just bite the bullet and do it, because I don't personally think there's going to be a better pre-order than this. Obviously we've got the figurine pre-order in Europe, but apart from that, I think the rest of them will just be like maybe like posters and stickers and like pencils and stuff like that. To get something generally this good with a pre-order bonus, you're probably looking at Pokemon Center to be one of the better places. But I don't know, if you don't want to order from the Pokemon Center and you want to wait for a little bit longer, there might be some other pre-orders. Again, I'll keep you up to date with all of those, but that is the pre-order section for Pokemon Legends ZA kind of portion of the video. Moving on, we have a small multiplayer update for Pokemon Legends ZA. This was posted by the Hidden Power podcast, saying Pokemon Legends ZA has no multiplayer capability at this time. So this kind of opens the door for a lot of questions, because Pokemon Legends Arceus technically had multiplayer, but a very, very small dose of it. We had trading, and then also you could go into the wild, into the different areas, and find lost satchels, and then if you find that satchel, the person that lost that satchel will kind of get all their stuff back, or something like that. I can't remember. But apparently, according to this, the Japanese eShop, there is no multiplayer on for Pokemon Legends ZA. So it says required capacity, obviously 10 gigabytes. We covered that recently. Play mode, obviously TV, Switch, yada, yada, yada. It says number of players, 1 person. Save data storage, not supported. Target body, Nintendo Switch 2. Manufacturer, Pokemon. Languages, Japanese, English, yada, yada, yada. And then also the scheduled release date is the 16th of October, 2025. So like I say, I was always hoping that there'd be some sort of online battles. I knew it was a very, very big ask, and it was very unlikely to be the case. Like a battle sort of royale online would be so good with this game, where you can just kind of run around, and then you know you can bump into it would have been perfect to have like a big online hub, and you could just go around and you could see someone, then you just battle with them, and it's real-time battling. It would have been so good. Like I would have absolutely just played that on. Like, that probably would have been my favorite kind of online Pokemon ever. Like I like Pokemon battling, but I'm not gonna go out of my way and play it all the time. But if it was something like that, where it was just like you could go and do real-time battles with real people, that would have been so good. But yeah, it's 1 player. I don't know if that means they're going to be trading or not. I don't know if that's all being cut as well. But yeah, like I said, it does just say one player. I can't remember what the Legends Arceus one said, if that had like trading and stuff, if that just said one player on like kind of online. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But there's definitely not going to be any like battles or anything like that, because that's basically been confirmed with this, which is a shame. But at the end of the day, it wasn't anything else that I was expecting. I was always expecting no online battles and stuff, just because it's very similar to Legends Arceus. It's a single player game. It'd been a bit too hopeful to expect them to do anything different, but might still get DLC and stuff. We'll have to wait. But either way, that's the kind of small multiplayer update for Pokemon Legends ZA. Moving on, we have some pretty good Nintendo Switch 2 updates to go over. This was posted by Go Nintendo Tweet, saying Nintendo Switch 2 improves multiple Nintendo Switch titles Nintendo never even mentioned. So obviously there was a few that they were talking about, like I think Scarlet and Violet obviously got the free update, and there was a few other games as well that got like a free Nintendo Switch 2 patch update, which was great. However though, people have discovered more games that have had like a patch upgrade, and they just haven't even like been spoken about by Nintendo. So one of them, of course, is from the Crimson. They're saying, can confirm that Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes now runs at 60 FPS. So that's one game that they didn't even mention, that obviously Fire Emblem Warriors, yeah, 3 Hopes now runs at 60 FPS. There's a little bit of footage about it. So like I say, if you go onto one of your old games, you might actually be able to play some games at a much higher frame rate. But anyway, let's take a look at this article. It says, the Switch 2 improves multiple Switch titles Nintendo hasn't even mentioned. Time to switch over. So there are a ton of great experiences available on the Nintendo Switch right at launch, and that includes brand new games, ports from other platforms, upgraded Switch games, and much more. It's that last genre of game that's worth digging into a bit more, as the situation is actually much deeper than anticipated. So Nintendo revealed that a number of Nintendo Switch titles would run and look better on the Nintendo Switch 2. But the truth is that there's many more titles that benefit than was first expected. That includes a litany of games that haven't even received updates, some which have been patch-free for years. Still bringing them over to a Switch 2 shows markedly improved experiences. It will likely be weeks, if not months, before we know the true extent of how much better some of these Nintendo Switch titles perform on the Nintendo Switch 2. That's because gamers are discovering these improved experiences on their own, as Nintendo and third parties haven't made a peep. That said, we do have some insight into a handful of titles that have got a nice bump on the Nintendo Switch 2. So, Smash Bros. Ultimate has improved loading speeds. To be fair, I think most games have improved loading screens and loading speeds and stuff, because when I got my Nintendo Switch 2, I tried pretty much all the Pokemon games, and like Scarlet and Violet loaded a lot faster. Not Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield, should I say, loaded a lot faster. Legends Arceus loaded a lot faster. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl loaded a lot faster. Not that these games had any upgrade in terms of frames, like Legends Arceus, Sword and Shield still ran at 30 FPS. It's just you got into the game so much quicker, and that's similar to like Animal Crossing. You know, there's been video comparisons of Animal Crossing side by side on the Switch and the Switch 2, and you just get into the game so much faster. But obviously loading screens are a little bit different to 60 FPS, because if the game now runs at 60 FPS, that's clearly been like someone's people have manually made that change, because the game just won't run at 60 FPS unless obviously it was locked beforehand. But either way, speaking of 60 FPS, Bayonetta 3 runs at 60 FPS now. So as well as Fire Emblem, Bayonetta 3 also runs at 60 FPS. Batman Arkham Knight runs at a steady 30 FPS. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity uses an uncapped frame rate, letting the title run much better on the Nintendo Switch 2. The Witcher 3 runs at a steady 30 FPS, and then Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl have improved loading speeds. Like I say, I tried that yesterday, the day before, whenever it was, and yeah, like I say, a lot of games just run a lot faster on this console, just simply because it's a much better console. But some games do have improved 60 FPS, stuff like that. We'll keep tabs on other Nintendo Switch game discoveries Nintendo Switch 2 owners make in terms of improvements to frame rate and other aspects. For now, you can check out a Digital Foundry video below that dives into both Batman Arkham Knight and Witcher 3 on the Switch 2. So yeah, maybe just it might be worth noting that if you go back to one of your old games and see how it runs on the Switch 2, you might be running it at much better frame rate, stuff like that. But I thought I'd go over this just in case you are a fan of Bayonetta or Fire Emblem or something like that. Go back and play it, you know, in 60 FPS, because it's just going to be a lot more enjoyable to play. But anyway, that's the Nintendo Switch 2 portion of the video. Finishing things off today, though, we have a new Generation 10 rumor to go over. This was posted on the 23rd of May, so a couple of weeks ago now. It's titled Generation 10, posted by Anonymous. Of course, this is a 4chan post, so as always, take it with a big old grain of salt. No idea if it's true or not, probably fake, but either way, it says information about the 10th generation. So the region, as you know, is based on the islands of the Eigen Sea. So basically, or Argon Sea, I'm not actually sure how to pronounce it. I probably should look that up, because if they are actually based on those, then I will be saying it a lot. But yeah, basically based on like all the kind of Greek islands and stuff like that, which again hasn't been confirmed. That's just kind of what we're expecting. 13 main islands accompanied by smaller ones. The adventure begins in the center of the map on a small island, and then from there you can freely choose any direction you want. The starter Pokemon are a Grass Fairy Satyr, a Fire Steel Minotaur, and then also a Water Dragon Snake Medicine. Again, I feel like whenever someone says the starter Pokemon is going to be a Dragon type, it's just very, very unlikely, because it's just already automatically neutral to, well, both of the starters. I mean, it's going to resist Grass heavily. No, it's going to resist fire heavily, and then obviously it's going to be neutral to grass. So it just gives it a little bit too much of an OP sort of start. And I get that some starter Pokemon do gain the dragon typing when they Mega Evolve, Charizard X, Sceptile, stuff like that. But that's a different ball game, you know, when they're Mega Evolving and stuff, that's a little bit different. But when you're starting the game and one of the starters is just ×4 resistant to fire and then neutral to the one that it's supposed to be weak to, it's a little bit OP. And then it says the legendary mascots are two anthropomorphic statues, which is going to be Electric Rock, I can't even speak, and Water Rock, respectively, which also have animal forms. In one version, it is a golden white eagle, which is going to be electric flying, and in the other version, it's going to be a silver blue dolphin, which is going to be water steel. We definitely need another water steel Pokemon, because we only have Empoleon. How do we have 9 generations and only have one water steel type? That being said, though, there's still a handful of dual types we just don't even have. So, you know, I guess it kind of makes sense. 9 of the 13 islands have influences from all the previous regions, from Kanto to Paldea, with margin guardians. So Kanto has Charizard, which has characteristics of Chinese dragons. Something new is being prepared for Lugia and Ho-Oh, maybe in the DLC. I think this is like the 3rd rumor that I've covered now, where literally people are saying that all the other islands have inspiration from one of the regions, which I really, really like that idea. But I feel like everyone's just piggybacking off each other. I would love if you had one island that's Kanto themed, one island that's Johto themed, one island that's Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, all that jazz. It'd be great. But the fact that like every Gen 10 rumor we cover now seemingly has that same sort of kind of idea. Maybe they're all right, maybe they're all legit rumors, and that's what we're getting, which would be great, because it would be the perfect way to get every Pokemon game into a Pokemon game without it being properly every Pokemon game into one Pokemon game. Especially if all the islands are massive. But it's just a little bit sus that everything is just talking about that now. Maybe everybody just really likes that idea. I would really love that idea. I think it'd be so good. But anyway, it goes on to say, one of the first Pokemon that you'll see is a normal type donkey that has 2 forms when it evolves. It has a sky form and it has a sea form. It's going to be rideable. And then we have gymnastics, which is a mini game that boosts stats. So IVs and EVs in a fun way. Surfing from Alola also returns. And then it is connected to Pokemon Champions, where all the official battles will take place. Don't be scared, Gaia, so Generation 10, will have online battles, plus online surprises that are too early to be revealed. I mean, I don't really know what those are going to be. I mean, I can't really see what they would be. Maybe it's just a different form of, like, Pokemon battling. I don't know, like, maybe it's real-time battling or something that we're getting in Pokemon Legends ZA. Maybe Champions is just going to be the kind of main hub for VGC and stuff, and then they can just do whatever they want in the other games. The story is oldest than AZ story. I assume that's meant to say older than AZ story, so over 3,000 years. It says the game has been in development since 2021 and is a complete concept. So it's been in development for 4 years, 5 when it comes out next year. They are also adding and removing many things, such as Pokemon, characters from the story, and many more. The leaks that occurred affected some things, but they don't have the luxury of time to change them radically. So I mean, there hasn't been any Generation 10 leaks. We don't know anything about the game, barring that we've had one image of Lumineon potentially underwater, and then we know that it's based on the Greek islands. We have had no leaks of any Pokemon, story, anything like that. So I don't know why they would radically change the story if nothing's even come out. I guess the potential for things to come out is always there, just like it has been happening with Legends ZA. But at the end of the day, you know, they might catch this, you know, Game Freak leak or a Game Freak outburst or whatever. That's it for now. See you at the official 30th anniversary, which of course is next February. So, yeah, I mean, look, I think it's unlikely to be true. Maybe I'm just kind of biased to it because I really like the idea of having multiple regions in the game in forms of islands. I really, really hope that's the way they kind of take, and that's the route they kind of take. But again, it's very unlikely that this is true. It's very much just probably piggybacking off those other rumors, which don't have any legitimacy towards them either, by the way. It's just, I think, a fun idea that a lot of people really like. But anyway, that's the latest Generation 10 rumor. What are your thoughts on that? And that is also going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a like down below. It's trying to hit 500 likes. It does really help out the video, the channel, all that stuff. Like I say, let me know your thoughts on the Generation 10 rumor. Would you like a sort of region that has loads of mini regions inside it on islands? Make sure to let me know if you found any other Switch 2 games that run, or Switch 1 games that run a lot better on the Nintendo Switch 2. What are your thoughts on zero multiplayer in Pokemon Legends ZA? And then also, if there's any other pre-order bonuses that you know about that I haven't mentioned in videos yet, let me know about them so I can let everybody else know about them. But anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.